Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Sharaa, has led a meeting of opposition forces in Damascus. His administration wants to merge the different factions into one army under the command of the Defense Ministry. Representatives from all the opposition forces attended the talks on Saturday. Sharaa has also named many of the new ministers in his administration. That includes the ministers of Foreign Affairs, of Defense, and Women's Affairs. Al Jazeera's Hashem Ahelbarra is in Damascus for us. Hashem, it may be too soon to answer this definitively, but do we know how much trust there is between these different opposition groups? Because if they're all going to come together under the umbrella of one Syrian army, there needs to be at least a modicum of trust.
And this is exactly what they're trying to build. But will it work? It remains to be seen. Syrian military factions that were established since 2012 were united in toppling Bashar al-Assad, but they always disagreed about how to move forward and how to run the country and who should have the ultimate say. We just have to remind our viewers that since 2012, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham was not really the most powerful faction. You had Jaish al-Islam, which was not far from here, had more than 20,000 soldiers. You had Ahrar al-Sham in Idlib, which had more than 60,000 soldiers. But things changed on the ground, and over the last 7 years, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham became the most powerful organization. Now, they want all the factions to disband, hand over their weapons to Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and join the new authority. They're skeptical about some of the military factions, particularly some rival factions in the south, and they're trying to convince them to join this government. If it works, it's going to be a significant boost for Ahmed al-Sharaa. If it does not work, people fear more instability.
So right now, HTS holds all the levers of power. Obviously, Ahmed al-Sharaa runs this new administration. His prime minister is HTS, defense minister is HTS, foreign minister, all of these who've been named yesterday, they're all HTS. Are you hearing discontent about this from any of the other groups or even civilians in Syria?
Well, there was a protest about 3 days ago here in the Umayyad Square, where people said that we need a representative government and that the seculars should have a bigger say. Yesterday, in Latakia, the power base of Bashar al-Assad, the toppled president of Syria, people took to the streets venting their frustration over Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. HTS sent military reinforcement to that area. There is concern about what happens next, and this explains why they're rushing now this national conference to start anytime soon. We think it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, to send a signal to people that Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is genuinely willing to move forward. But when you look at the makeup of their government, and yesterday the appointment of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Defense, both senior members of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, Ahmed al-Sharaa is likely to be the one to run the country for the next 5 years. These are indications that HTS believe that they are the ones who have the legitimacy to run the country, because they are the ones who helped topple Bashar al-Assad. Will everybody agree with that? It is going to be the most difficult choice the Syrians have to make. One last thing here, Cyril. We're expecting political parties to be established in Syria, because al-Ba'ath was the only party that ran the country for 50 years. And those parties, mostly coming from abroad, the refugees, the exiles, when they come together, they will say, you know what? 500,000 people were killed to topple Assad, and therefore we need to be represented in this government. And this is where I returned to Damascus after 14 years. I'm seeing massive hopes for a better life, but at the same time I'm seeing some anxiety which is starting to simmer around in different parts of the country, particularly here in Damascus, where people are saying we need a civic society, a government that respects elections, and a government that respects that Syria has always been a vibrant society where the seculars, the communists, the liberals, the capitalists, the conservatives come together, converge together and move forward. We don't want HTS to be the only sole authority to shape the future of our country. So that's going to be the extremely most delicate task facing everyone here in Damascus.
Al Jazeera's Hashem Ahelbarra reporting from the Syrian capital. Thank you for your reporting. Thanks, Hashem.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.